Come with us as we step inside. To kick off the series, I'm in Wurundjeri, about 10 kilometres west of Broadbeach on the Gold Coast. We are in one of the Gold Coast's newest estates, Skyridge, and we're going to take you through a Moroccan-inspired design by Ultra Living Homes, which really puts a new spin on indoor-outdoor living. Do you know what I love about this entry? It's a little bit winding and it's got no obvious start and stop point. I love that. Was that always the design intent?
To create something differently was certainly the design intent. We really wanted to hone in on, I guess, a true modern Mediterranean feel, and that was a lot about bringing in biophilic design and an internal courtyard. So I think we nailed it.
Biophilic design's a bit of a buzzword I'm hearing lately. Do you want to expand on that for our viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. So biophilic design is really, in a nutshell, about bringing the outdoors in, about the green spaces, the open windows that we can see up here, so that we're really blending and transitioning those spaces into the one.
You've kept the colour palette quite muted, but then you've done this really clever thing, which I love and is having a bit of a moment, which is this checkerboard tile on the entry. Talk me through that.
Yeah, so we wanted something in this space that was, I guess, a little bit bold and a little bit outside of our normal. So we were happy to take a chance on this one and see how it paid off. And this particular tile is an exclusive tile to Beaumont's, and it was about choosing a tile that had an organic look. And the other beautiful benefit to this tile is its microtech finish. So under the bare foot, it's really nice and soft. But when we do have wet weather, especially in this indoor-outdoor space, it's got an anti-slip feature to it.
Well, this definitely sets a really sort of calm holiday vibe tone to the house, and I'm very interested to see what the rest of the house has in store. Should we go?
We shall.
Let's go. Have fit some really sizable spaces in this upper floor. I mean, this master bedroom is humongous. Huge, just the bedroom section alone. And then you walk into this master ensuite, which is his and hers, right?
Absolutely.
So it's separated by this beautiful shower. You've got this beautiful bath, and it is sort of the thing to do to situate the bath in front of the window to sort of take in the view. Was it sort of always your intent to create a master suite this large?
Absolutely, it was. The intent behind this house was about size. We wanted generous spaces for the bathrooms, the bedrooms, the living areas. And with space, as we know, comes the feel of luxury.
So you've kept the colour palette really tonal throughout, but here in the shower in the master suite, you've departed from that a little bit by doing a green mosaic.
So when it comes to a shower space where we've got a curved wall, we automatically become limited for choice. So I already knew it had to be a small tile.
And in the case of the wall, you've created pattern again by laying the tile.
So with this one, we used the Brazilian white chevron, and this was really quite exciting because we got to work with the Beaumont designers, and we had this particular tile shipped in especially for us with this build.
I do have a soft spot for homes where you walk in the front door and you can see all the way to the back. I don't know why, but it just sort of creates a nice feeling, like this real fluidity, and this home has that. And then it obviously has this really large open plan living space, which is just sort of how people want to live now. It's the kitchen open to the dining, open to the living, open to the alfresco.
In a house of this size, which is over 500 square metres, you need to be able to showcase that sense of space, because that's what clients want to see, which, you know, we showcase here with a 4 metre high ceiling, We've got a beautiful stone feature wall that goes from floor to ceiling. So it's about having that grandeur and creating the wow aspects within the home.
And you've chosen to go with a tile on the floor as opposed to something else like an engineered timber or concrete.
Yeah, so being a high traffic area, especially when you look at the external courtyard and flowing out to the alfresco, just high volume. So we wanted something that was, going to stand the test of time. And what better than a large format tile? This one, which is the Brazilian white, is an exclusive to Beaumont's. And in terms of the colour palette we've got going through the home, it was the perfect choice.
Well, you've done a beautiful job. I really think this will appeal to a Queensland market especially. I mean, we have that really beautiful temperate climate, which invites us outdoors, but also you want to enjoy the outdoors from the in. So you've achieved something really beautiful here. Thanks for showing us through.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.
Now we can finally reveal this iconic home on dreamy Hamilton Island, heart of the Whitsundays in Queensland. Is this the most luxurious holiday home in Australia? Gypsy is here to take us on the tour.
The whole ethos behind the build here was to bring Mykonos to Hamilton Island. So the developer Dan Cav and the builder Daniel Veach developed and built this with that ethos of how can I go to Mykonos during COVID without having to go there, because we couldn't. So this represents that Mediterranean sort of style, but you are on Hamilton Island. So the way that Casa Rotunda was developed was for multi-generational families to come and holiday and stay here. You'll notice throughout the house there are 8 bedrooms and all of them are en-suited. There's also a scullery here, so if you do bring your own private chef with you, they have all the facilities for a commercial grade kitchen. There are a lot of parts about the house that make it really special to holiday with a family. As you walk in, you'll notice the sunken lounge, which is a big statement piece of the property. As we head down to one of the bottom levels, you'll notice that the pool actually wraps around the whole living space. There is a slide that heads from the heated spa pool down into the main pool, and you have that beautiful view of the whole ocean there with Cat's Eye Beach. Hamilton Island is quite unique because it does offer the only island where you can actually commercially land a plane. You've also got a marina where you can moor your boat, and they have the ability to go to all the little islands around. There's great fishing. It is a real sort of family community as well, so a lot of people bring that multi-generational family here for holidays. You feel like you are on a tropical island in a different country, but you're just in Australia. And I think what makes that really special for people that live in Australia is it's just a short flight. You don't have to travel and get jet lagged, and you get that tropical island experience.
This tourist hotspot was first created by legendary Queensland entrepreneur Keith Williams in the early 1980s and has long been held in the minds of Australians and the world as a dream island getaway.
What makes it really, I guess, fun and attractive is the fact you get to ride around in golf buggies. I think the stress levels definitely do ease on Hamilton Island because there's no cars. There's not a huge amount of high rises. It's quite a small island, so you can get around really quickly. It's just a real island feel.
And right here, taking in the breathtaking views, are 2 iconic builds on the same street. Beetle George Harrison's South Pacific style home built in 1987 and Casa Rotunda.
So Casa Rotunda was actually one of the first substantial houses that was on the island.
Formerly known as the Roundhouse, this home was designed in the late 1980s by Peter Conley and Associates and was a testament to the architectural grandeur of the time. More recently, it has undertaken a remarkable renovation, now an 8-bedroom, 8-bathroom Mediterranean-style residence that exudes coastal charm at every curve, corner and window. All I can say is, wow.
You'll notice throughout the property the really high quality finishes. So there's travertine throughout the property. We've also got all the brushed brass tapware. They also have the Venetian plastering on the walls. It's something that's really expensive and time consuming to do, but it does give you that really luxury finish. One of my favourite features of the home is the wine cellar. So this room is temperature controlled. It allows for a great space to do maybe wine tasting, pairing it with your favourite meal from the Whitsundays, and also a great area for cocktail making. If you're looking for the perfect island getaway with a luxury feel, book with Laguna Pacific. They don't just have Casa Rotunda, but they have 4 other properties available on the island, all super luxurious with multiple bedrooms for multi-generational families.
Next up, Jessie heads to Nan in the Adelaide Hills.
It's so great to be here today with you, Troy and Carmel. Tell me, what was the inspiration behind this facade?
Look, we're in the paddock in the middle of the Adelaide Hills. The client wanted a farmhouse that just blended in with the surroundings. So we've got this awesome standing seam, we've got old red bricks, we've got a mixture of textures.
The actual house is stunning when you're driving up to it. Did you put a lot of emphasis on the external design?
I think it was really important for us to highlight the beautiful scenery, and using black and brick meant that the trees popped and that we could really see the landscape.
You have such a unique proposition because Troy, you're the builder, and then Carmel, you do all of the interior
Designer, yes. So we basically hold the client's hand right from the day we meet them to the day we put in the last piece of furniture.
What are we expecting to see inside, guys?
One of my favourite parts is the master bedroom. It's really moody, dark colours, so it feels quite warm. And then we've got this beautiful ensuite that has a bath with amazing views.
Look, I love the living area. High cathedral pitch ceilings, a beautiful kitchen, and then that wood fireplace all bricked up in old reclaimed type bricks. And again, polished concrete floor, polished concrete steps, all looking out over the creek. It's awesome.
Troy, you were absolutely spot on when you said the favourite feature is this gable roof in the living room. What a stunning inclusion.
It is. It's a lot of work as well. You know, a lot of scaffold through here, but the finished product is awesome. And it's the living area that's in the middle of the house. So we sort of have the kids' wing over that side, the adults, parents' retreat over this side, and in the middle of that, this gabled roof and this amazing kitchen that Carmel has designed.
I love the black and white sort of monochromatic colour tone you've gone with.
I think the whole point of this house was to really just make the outside pop. And so we've gone for raw finishes like brick and concrete and black, and just kept it really simple so we can now work with that exterior.
And Carmel, I know that you're in charge of all the interiors, but I think you can definitely tell that you've designed that master bedroom.
Master bedroom's great, and it's because you have that little retreat away from everyone. Again, we're trying to bring the outside in, and it's nothing better at the end of the day coming back from the city and sitting in that bath and capturing those views.
I even noticed a little attention to detail with all your light switches being black to tie into everything.
We're really lucky with Clipsal doing the iconic style plate. The black looks beautiful and it really sets off in this particular setting.
It also all integrates beautifully with their Wiser system. We have Wiser at our house. I use it to program blinds, I use it to open skylights, you know, program lighting. It makes life simple. You know, when everything's so busy, Wiser can make life simple.
Like, I'm just admiring your work. It looks so simplistic, but there is so much detail with the cladding, the standing seam, the brickwork, the lining, the polished concrete paving. It just goes on and on and on. There are so many different materials you've used, and it just blends seamlessly together. Like, it's incredible what you've achieved.
It is. Carmel's did an amazing job on the selections and the finishes and the fit out. There was hours on site, agonising over details, from that gable cladding to fitting over the bricks to every flashing around the standing seam, windows, setting slabs in, a deck, height, everything being seamless. So it's a lot of work, but it's what we love doing. And when you get to stand here and look at this, you know, you feel proud.
Meeting you two, like, absolute power couple. I love the dynamic, husband and wife, builder, interior designer. I would happily sign a contract with you two to build a home for me. I think you've done a magnificent job, and I feel like I'm in very safe hands.
Thank you. We absolutely love what we do, so it makes it really easy.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Come with us as we step inside. First up, James is in Seacliff, a beachside suburb of Adelaide.
Matt, I was excited to come to Adelaide. Your homes are always beautiful, but as we came down the street here, there's some really strong houses, and then you come to this one. This is a definite standout.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a standout. This is probably the widest front on the Esplanade here.
And how did you end up with this amazing big block?
Our clients had 2 blocks here on the front with old 1950s homes.
Okay.
Wanted to put 2 on it with a tennis court in the back.
What I love, and I know that you're known for, is that beautiful mixture of finishes. You've got such nice texture. I can see that hammered sandstone, you've got cladding, and some contrast in a really soft way, timber on the underneath of the eaves. It's a beautiful mixture of coastal finishes.
Yeah, absolutely. This home sits here with the sand dunes across the road just beautifully. It fits in tonally.
Well, it looks beautiful on the outside, but those stairs behind me, almost like a temple, they're calling for us to walk up and have a look.
Yeah, I think we should. Let's
go. It's got such a beautiful, warm and welcoming feel the moment you come in. I think some homes of this level can feel quite austere, and yet this feels high-end, but really warm and welcoming. It's beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. These tones just flow from outside straight inside. It's warm, it's coastal and inviting.
There's such a huge amount of glass in this property, Matt, that you almost don't need to have any artwork. All you're looking at is that amazing view.
Yeah, there's a load of glass in this house, and it's all double glazed as well for that thermal comfort.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because when I see glass, I think of heat loss.
Yes.
It's a beautiful connection between here and outside, and we don't have privacy issues because we're raised. But let's talk about the heating and cooling of this property.
Well, the heating and cooling here is controlled and managed by the Wiser system. So that, allows you full control from your phone. You can adjust it and set it to use your solar panels, your battery storage. Yeah, it's a complete integration.
I think technology was seen as something really scary, especially from the homeowner's point of view.
Absolutely.
But now it's just becoming embedded and integrated in a really user-friendly way.
Well, that's the key, isn't it? Wiser have made it very simple. Clipsal and Wiser have come together with a perfect program which anyone can use.
So the brief from Finesse Built and the client for this job was to specify a product that works well with their day-to-day life. With Clipsal Wiser, a product that can automate their life and the way they live with regards to blinds, sensors, outdoor timers, schedules and scenes, even obviously dimming functions on their architectural lighting. So this particular home is set up with solar and batteries. So with Clipsal's Wiser energy management system that is installed in this particular home, it has the capabilities of being able to sort of learn from how the home is used, and also will utilise the sun, the solar, to shut blinds or open blinds at certain times of the day, turn lights down in regards to brightness, or turn them up when they need to. So really customise and also save the client on energy costs.
I love when a finish or an element on the facade of a home is seen inside. Like my eye notices that straight away. That hammered sandstone is outstanding. And here it is now on the fireplace. It's such a focal point, and yet again it adds to that really warm, welcoming feel. Has it been here before? How old is it? All of those sort of questions.
Yes, and that's one of our natural design elements that Finesse Built integrate in. We like to see materials flowing right through the home, outside, inside, and right out the back.
You've got a nice warm white on the walls,
yes.
White ceilings. You put timber on the ceiling outside as well as in the entry foyer, and then all the way through with these beautiful oak floors. Again, all of the character. Some people like a really clean look. I love this, the knots and the crowning. It's so visually interesting to look at.
Absolutely, and this is a low maintenance floor. It's a brushed finish, open grain, so you're not going to see footprints and marks.
You want to enjoy the space.
Yeah, it's a relaxed atmosphere.
Well, there I keep looking at this view. It's quite outstanding, but I'm aching to go and have a look at the pool and the tennis court.
Let's go have a look.
Matt, there are backyards and then there's this backyard. I need to know, is this like a normal standard for Finesse, a backyard like this?
Absolutely, this is what we do every time. No, this is very unique property. Such a large block of land, get a tennis court on, why not?
It's interesting how you played with levels, but of course overall the home does slope from the back to the front. But because the house has become, well, it's 3-story technically. That's at the front,
yes.
You come up to the entry. So you sort of come up and then back down again. It creates a really nice feeling on the block because you've got this ability to be in the home but look down out over the backyard and then out over the beach as well.
Yeah, that's right. And that was the initial brief from the clients to get the home up, to have privacy from the front and also great viewing to the back and the tennis court.
They've been in here now for 12 months. What's the feedback?
The feedback is that they love the home. The home functions as they wished it would, and it's a comfortable place for them to live with their family.
Matt, it's great to see you here. Another outstanding job. Well done.
Thank you.
Now we can finally reveal this spectacular penthouse in Brisbane.
We are in beautiful Kangaroo Point today to take you through an apartment penthouse that's undergone a very clever renovation to maximise sweeping views of the mighty Brisbane River. Well, this is pretty impressive, Matt. I don't think I've ever been into an apartment with a view this vast. It's pretty wide sweeping.
Thanks, Carleen. Look, we've been really lucky here because we've got this amazing half-floor penthouse here in Brisbane, in Kangaroo Point, and it literally has views forever.
And it's huge. And I can't imagine that this is what the floor plan originally looked like.
No, well, look, I mean, this is nearly a 30-year-old building, so you can imagine the floor plan was a lot different to how it is now, and it was compartmentalised with, you know, kitchen on one side, and then we had enclosed master, and a lot of the view was stifled by some of the rooms. So when we came at this, we thought, right, the client wanted to live in an open plan apartment, wanted to feel like a home, so we thought, let's just go for it and open this place up.
So what was the brief? What did you need to achieve in terms of how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, living areas?
We came at this with a really great brief from the client, and you know, we're very thankful to have such a great client who really knew what they were after. Obviously we helped along the way and made our own suggestions, but essentially the brief was create the ultimate city apartment and capture all of the views and make sure that where quiet spaces existed in the apartment to put spaces for retreat, and where we wanted to open it up for parties and entertaining, open it up.
Yeah.
So essentially we're 4 bedrooms, 2 master suites, one for a guest, one for the owners, and bedrooms for the children that live here.
Well,
Well, someone might be deceived into thinking we're actually standing in front of the kitchen, but this is in fact a bar, right?
It is, yes, a very kind of James Bond-esque. We've created a kitchen and a bar that kind of works together. So obviously for us in our designs, we want the kitchen to be the heart of the home. And here what we try to do is place the kitchen in a location where it's central to everything and offers functionality for entertaining, but also the bar and the kitchen work together.
Well, I've seen snippets of the kitchen, can't wait to take a closer look.
Why don't we go and do that?
Let's go. Well, this is a pretty sleek kitchen, Matt. It's a bit of like boom chicka wah wah. Very Bond, it's all those things. So talk me through the materials in here.
Yeah, well, you know how we were speaking before about creating these secret spaces, and for me with the kitchen, it's obviously got to be functional, but it also needs to be beautiful. And so that means sometimes you've got to hide some things away. Minimal for me is kind of my favourite thing. So we try and, as best we can, go minimal.
And are you pretty consistent with things like fixtures and sort of the tapware you use, and what have you used in this case?
Well, here, because we're trying to go minimal, we've used an all-in-one tap system, which is the Billy tap system. It's fantastic. They've just developed a new range of tapware, which is a multifunction tap, which is one tap does everything: hot, cold, chilled, sparkling, boiling and filtered water all out of one tap. It's beautiful because no longer do you have to have 2 or 3 taps on a kitchen bench, you can have one. And it works really well in terms of providing amenity for an apartment of this, ilk in terms of its design and its level in the market, while also providing function.
That is a good point you make about only having to deal with one tap on the bench.
Billy's great, it comes in a good range of colours and finishes. This new system, the Omni One system, can be placed neatly under the bench. Doesn't need any ventilation, so it's the only system on the market that has no ventilation requirements.
Okay.
And it's nice and compact and quiet.
That's key. This is probably not your favourite aspect, and I can imagine why, but it's mine. I love the blue window and door frames. It's a custom colour, right? Like, you don't see blue window and door frames getting around. So was that a challenge for you?
It was a big challenge. The original colour, Savage River Blue, does not exist anymore. We went and saw our friends at G. James to try and get a special custom colour done. And there was a lot of backwards and forwards to get the colour to match as best we could.
Well, I think you're onto something, and I think they should bring it back.
I reckon we should vote for it. What do you reckon?
I reckon we need to get onto it, and it frames the most magnificent view, which I think we should go and look at.
Let's go and have a look at it.
Well, this is the place to be for Brisbane's River Fire event, right?
I think so. I'm hoping I can get an invite. Maybe we'll get you and Michael one as well,
That would be amazing. I mean, there's not anywhere you could stand in this apartment that you wouldn't be taking it in. It's pretty, as I said before, it's pretty sweeping views.
It is, and we're very lucky to be able to work with a space like this. And obviously here what we've tried to do is bring a bit of the outside inside and create a zone which allows for flow in and out onto this terrace.
Well, you've done a beautiful job. This is a really unique space, Matt. Thanks for taking us through.
Thanks for your time in coming through. I've really enjoyed showing you through what I reckon is probably one of Brisbane's unique penthouse opportunities.
Next up, Liberty is in Gippsland, Victoria.
It is a stunning day here in Gippsland. And I'm here to see this unique and interesting home made purely of shipping containers. I'm so interested to see how they've pulled this one off. Let's go. Georgia and Luke, this house is so incredibly unique. It is unlike anything I've seen before. We're currently sitting in a shipping container. Tell me why a shipping container for your home.
So I guess the idea came from wanting to build something that was affordable and eco-friendly. So we wanted to use as many recycled materials or salvaged materials as we could.
Because this feels so warm and homely, this space. I think of a shipping container and I'm like sparse and a bit cold, but you walk in here and it's the most lovely feeling. Is that what you wanted for the home?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was, I guess, what we saw as the biggest challenge. The main, I guess, hesitations in working with shipping containers was around the thermal properties of it. In that you're going to live in a tin box, essentially. So heating and cooling was a really big consideration. And so spray foam insulation, all the research we did led us down that path, and that made the most sense. It also helps with preventing the condensation. And when we were putting that in, I mean, the day that we got the spray foam done, it was an immediate effect. It was just all of a sudden, it wasn't this hot box. It was just a livable space, which was great.
Tell us about the floor plan of this space, because you live in this part of it and then you've got the Airbnb.
Yeah, when we decided to relocate out to here, one of the big factors for us was when my parents come over. So I'm originally from the UK. Having them come over, we wanted to make sure they had their own space and that we had our own space, because although we didn't have Leo at the time, he was well and truly on the cards. So his room, which was where they were staying, was going to be occupied, and I don't think Mum and Dad wanted to sleep on the sofa bed. So we needed to extend, but we wanted to do it in a way that was going to make sense to us. And having that there and available to us, but separate access, means that we can put it up as an Airbnb as well, which is awesome. Using Australian timber was something that we always wanted to do. When we built the house at George's dad's block of land, there was it was a stallion paddock, I think. An old horse paddock. Yeah. So the fence rails that were around the horse paddock were old Australian hardwood. So we took all of those down and we ran them all through a thicknesser, which does the opposite of what it says, and actually thins the boards down, straightens them.
I reckon the floors are one of my favourite things. Brings character to the home.
Yeah, they've certainly got a lot of character, and I feel like that's probably the main thing in this part of the house that adds to the warmth. It was certainly a big decision as to where we wanted to live, and for us it was more around the lifestyle that we wanted. So we wanted enough space for kids to run around. We wanted to have chickens. We have a dog. We wanted to grow a lot of our own food. There's lots of fruit trees and things outside, and that was really important to us. So living in Corranborough, it gave us that space with a bit of affordability on a big slope, because we live in the hills, and that's kind of the beauty of it, I guess.
What are some other features of the home that are sustainable?
The plan is that the house sort of looks after itself, really, water-wise, electricity-wise, so that if we want to go overseas, which we'd love to go to South America for a few months one day, we can just lock the door, walk away. Power and water is sort of looked after.
One of the things I love about this home is how sustainable it is. They've really put together a home with a really low carbon footprint that's absolutely incredible and also super inspiring. They've gone for over 13 kilowatts of solar panels, plus also a 10 kilowatt inverter, which is one of my favourites, being the Goodwee EHB hybrid inverter, along with around 13 kilowatt hours of battery storage, which is more than enough to power them, not only for today, but also into the future. Look, what makes a Goodwee EHB inverter so special? It's brand new. I have one on my own home. It's a single phase inverter. It's also a hybrid, which means you can connect it to battery storage. Now, it pairs really well with Goodwee's Lynx batteries, which come in 3.2 kilowatt hour modules. With these particular modules, they can just be stacked up like a Lego set. So you really start with about 6.4 kilowatt hours, and then you can build on top of it. Those solar panels are basically being converted from DC to AC electricity, running through the inverter and powering the home. But alongside that, they're also charging up the batteries. So those batteries can be charged concurrently with supplying the home with this electricity. When it gets to night time, those batteries then come into use and are powering the home throughout the evenings and early mornings.
We also wanted it to be sustainable as we grow as well. So if eventually we end up with electric cars, or if we're living in the Airbnb one day and we build it all in and end up with more people in our house, then we won't have to sort of build out the solar system at that point. It's just sort of set up and good to go.
Well, you have done a wonderful job with this house. It's certainly a first for me. So thank you so much for having us here today and showing us through.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Next up, we're on the coast.
You guys, it's so peaceful here, and I actually really didn't know what to expect because I drove into a gated community, but all the homes were so different. And then I come to your house and it's different again in the coolest way. I really love what you've done with the facade. Was this a renovation or a knockdown rebuild?
It was a renovation.
Total renovation.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
We say it used to look like a Robina box. No one else wanted to buy it and we saw a lot of potential, so we thought, let's do a big reno.
I mean, that's how you find an awesome house, right? It's the one that no one else wants, that you see potential in.
Yes. For the reno, because we live on a nature reserve, we had to stay within the existing envelope. And so we wanted to drastically change what it looked like and update it. Yeah, but we're really proud of it. I mean, Brad did all the work.
Yeah.
No, very proud.
You've done a beautiful job. I just love brick. I think it's so timeless, and the way you've applied it to this facade, I think is really going to stand the test of time.
Yeah, I used one of my architects from Melbourne, and I wanted something that was sort of a beach feel, but a little bit Melbourne, something different, but I didn't want any maintenance. I'm big on, yes, you got to wash everything, but I don't want to be painting everything every few months up here with the weather.
And does this give me some sort of indication of what I can expect to see inside?
Yes. Well, I would say that the house is quite modern, and you can expect a lot of color, a lot of textures. We love color and texture, so
Correct.
you can expect to see that, and some beautiful views.
Love it.
Yeah.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, we will talk about your very beautiful kitchen, obviously, but I just want to first talk about that amazing view over that stunning reserve and the waterways, and I love the way you have framed that with that picture window.
It's called Tallows Creek, and so it runs basically behind this suburb, Suffolk Park, and then it empties into the ocean right there.
You've made some beautiful selections. Who gets credit?
I do for the Cristanza.
Okay.
I found it because I
And
love
is this
green.
the
Green is-
Cristanza?
Yeah. So my favorite color is green. Obviously, the house there's like green everywhere. But I found this with a retailer in Brisbane, and it's called Cristanza Quartzite.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you've kept the palette super calm, but you've brought in the warmth as well.
Well, part of it reminds us of the ocean,
Yeah.
depending on the time of the day, with the light on it. And that's probably one of my favourite features, is the way the guy put all the miters together. He did an incredible job.
So what you've achieved here is ultimately a 3-level home.
Correct.
And did that come with some challenges?
It did. In this room, there was a big beam going through here and a pole going through the staircase.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, so we had to try and get rid of that. And then I didn't know what to do with this room, whether I put multiple beams to make it flow. And so we just plastered over it and lost about 200 mil of height everywhere, but I don't feel it's compromised.
Yeah, you get that feeling of compression and expansion, as
yeah.
architects love to say.
Yes.
So it's a deceptively large house. It's sort of not until you get in that you realise. But you've got a fair bit going on, right? There's a fair bit of floor space, you've got a pool. Does it cost a lot to run?
It does, and that's why we decided to, upgrade the solar, and we wanted a big enough system to sort of help run the house with batteries, because around here we do have a lot of blackouts. For example, probably a couple of months ago, it was for 40 hours.
One of the biggest challenges Brad and Amber faced, they already had an existing solar system, but they were impacted by the cyclone, and when that happened, they lost power completely. They chose to install a brand new system through our good friends at Resync. Now, when they inquired about what system to install, they chose to go for the Anker Solix X1 for two very important reasons. First and foremost, it's modular, which means they could not only get battery storage that suited their needs today, but in 12 months from now, they could add more modules if they needed to. The second key component was blackout protection. You know, when you go through a cyclone, it's all well and good having battery storage, but if it's not connected to another device that allows you to have blackout protection, it means it's not generating power at all during a blackout. In this scenario, not only is the sun shining and capturing the beautiful rays and powering their batteries and the home, but if the power was to cut off, they still have that backup, powering the circuits connected to that battery. When installing a solar power system and battery storage here, you've got to be considerate of the actual surroundings. In this case, they have water at the back door of their property and then the ocean just around the corner. Any electrical component can be affected by salt mist degradation. So in this scenario, the rating on Anker Solix's products is phenomenal. It literally has been designed for coastal areas like Australia and like the majority of properties that hug the Australian coastline.
This is where the party's at.
Yeah.
But just a really low-key party so that you can actually listen to the birds and let people go home at 9 o'clock, right?
Oh yeah, or 8:30.
Well, you've done a beautiful job inside and out, and thank you so much for having us through.
Thank you.
Now we can finally reveal this house in South Australia.
I'm so excited to be back in my hometown of Adelaide today, and I'm checking out this beautiful family home, which is light, bright and full of amazing details. Cam, the facade of this house is an absolute standout on the street. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
We're very happy with how it all turned out. Very understated, but obviously with the features like the exposed ag concrete, the tapered piers and the louver, it really just pops and really comes together.
The facade here reminds me of a bit of a Californian bungalow.
The clients were sort of going for that vibe. Obviously they wanted to modernise that sort of look, but bring in those traditional features.
And when I walked through the front door of this house, the beautiful curve at the front and the herringbone floor really stood out to me. Was that something the homeowners wanted?
Yeah, I guess they sort of, sat down with their architect and really wanted a bit of a statement piece as they walked in. So the curves are very on trend at the moment. So I think, walking into the front door and seeing that curve straight away really sets it off. And obviously just having that section of herringbone on the floor is a really nice way to enter the home.
And then you walk through to this kitchen, and the beautiful windows and the raked ceilings make it just so light and bright and lovely.
That was one of their major things in the design brief, that they really wanted to capture that natural light. So obviously through summer you get the natural light coming through the courtyard, reflecting onto the island bench, and then through winter you sort of get that winter sun sort of still coming through the north elevation. So I think that works really well.
Because in winter you get the sun coming through here, but then in the summertime you get it coming through the other directions as well.
So that's right. The clients actually lived on this site, obviously, for a few years before they knocked the original house down. So they had a good idea of where the sun came over and how they wanted to lay the house out.
And in the evening when I close my eyes.
There are so many standout features in this home. My personal favourite is the stonework. How long did that take to put together?
It did take a little while to get it right. Obviously, when we were sort of building the structure, it took a little while to get that detail right with the pelmet and obviously the depth of the stone. The clients really wanted to sort of bring a little bit of outside in. So obviously, when we go outside, you can see that the stone is wrapped on the outside as well. So it sort of brings it all together.
And because we only are 1 kilometre from the beach, so was the coastal vibe what the homeowners wanted?
Yeah, I guess it's that, light, airy, coastal sort of Hamptons vibe. As you sort of go into the bathrooms, we've sort of got the VJ panelling and the feature mosaic tiles on the floor, and that sort of brings that coastal sort of element to it, I guess.
The bathrooms are definitely a standout for me. Now, I'm someone who notices the small details. Even on your cover plates that you've got for your switches, you've got the little timber edging around the edge. What was the idea of that?
So I guess with Clipsal, we love using the Iconic series.
Yeah.
You can obviously interchange the cover plates quite easily. So, you know, if you get sick of a certain cover plate or you want to change the theme of the house, you can sort of just take the cover plates off and put a new one on.
People are starting to take a lot more interest in how the covers of the PowerPoints and stuff look and the different styles. Even within certain homes, we're using multiple different coloured plates of the same range just to bring it into different areas. So if you've got a dark tile or a dark splashback, they might try and hide that PowerPoint and blend it in. Or they might really want that feature to stand out, so they've gone with brass or stainless or a different cover look to try and really make it pop. Or like this house, they've got the timber edging, which then matches in with the timber floors. It's definitely starting to be a bigger feature now with a lot more options coming out. Clipsal are always evolving their range, and that's the great thing about the Iconic range. You know, in 6 months, if they bring out a new version that you like, you don't need to get an electrician back, you don't need to pay someone, you can just pull the cover off, buy the cover, clip it on, and it changes the whole look. So basically the way it starts off with the lighting plan and the Clipsal plan. So basically the client goes in to Clipsal, they do what's called a clip spec. That brings them through the whole layout of the house. They draw up where the PowerPoints are going, where the lights are, and it gives them a good understanding of where everything is and what they're using.
One of the things I love about this backyard is that you've carried a lot of the features through from the front, through the house, back here.
Yeah, correct. I think the consistency is important when you're sort of, you know, designing a house.
Yeah.
Obviously, the honed concrete around the pool really ties into the exposed aggregate. So, no, we think that works really well.
And the exposed aggregate is really a feature in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, as builders, we kind of push this a lot. So we feel that it sort of finishes the house up nicely and it's a feature in itself.
And this beautiful feature, my favourite, the stone that you've brought outside as well.
That's it. It works really well. No, we're very happy with how it's come up. Sort of brings that outside in and inside out.
Cam, thank you so much for showing me through this beautiful house. It is absolutely spectacular and you should be very proud.
Yeah, thanks for coming. We're really proud of what we've created here and, you know, glad to show it off to you.
Next up, we're in the city.
I'm so excited to show you this architectural passive house here in inner city Melbourne. Niall has used ancient building techniques that will blow you away. Well, Niall, the first thing that struck me was the beautiful street presence of this house. How did you achieve this through the facade?
Oh, thanks, Liberty. Yeah, so as you've seen, we're close to the beach and we're in a heritage area. So we wanted to have a bit of that sort of maritime style, reflecting sort of old ships and things. So I've used porthole windows and just sort of stepped it down so the front kind of resembles a bow of a ship. That was the idea behind it.
So what was here beforehand?
It was a traditional weatherboard house. It was from the early 1900s and it wasn't in a bad way. It didn't have a heritage overlay because all of the original features had been removed. It was covered with asbestos. It was, it's pretty messy. So yeah, we had permission to actually take that whole thing away and start again.
And then when you walk through the beautiful green front door, which I love,
yeah, cheers.
I noticed the herringbone flooring
Yeah.
and the beautiful black framed glass doors.
Yep.
What are some of the features that you've used on entry?
Oh yeah, so the green front door is to echo our heritage. We're both from Ireland originally, and so that was the inspiration behind that. And also just green, generally, that's kind of the theme. It's sustainable, that's my ethos. Timber is probably my favourite material, so that features throughout the house. It carries through with the floor, and you'll see it in all these posts and beams that we have built the house out of.
Well, let's talk about that because these beams are a massive feature of this home.
Yeah, the entire house is built out of these glue laminated posts and beams. The inspiration behind that was this old shipbuilding technique where you'd build sort of the posts and beams and you hold them together with oak dowels. We've used glue laminated timber, which is a big ash, and that's smaller pieces of timber that they put together. Otherwise it would become waste wood or firewood or that. And all of these pieces were made in a factory. They were CNC machined and they came as the right sizes with all the holes and slots and everything drilled and cut into them. So all we had to do then was just assemble it on site like a massive like Lego or Meccano set. That's what you see around every room.
Noel, I absolutely love this kitchen. It has so much character. Talk me through some of those nautical themes that appear in here.
Yeah, thanks, Liberty. Yeah, so we've chosen this really beautiful quartzite, and that's supposed to echo like a stormy sea. You can see the sort of colours and patterns, and it looks like lightning bolts running through it and stuff like that. Yeah, we brought the curves in here again. Remember I was saying it was inspired by sort of ocean liners and that sort of curves are evident in all of the ends of the units. So it was a bit of a nightmare for the cabinet maker, but I think the end result looks really good.
It's a very narrow block, so it can be difficult to bring that light in, but you've done that really well.
We've tried to bring in light sources from at least 2 directions everywhere throughout the house. That's because it's such a tight site that you get that effect in a lot of Melbourne houses where it's like a tunnel with light at the end of it, and it causes this sort of glare and silhouette. So by bringing in these light sources from different points right over where we're working in the depth of the floor plan and from the courtyard near the dining table, you've always got a source of natural light for what you're doing, but it evens out the whole light and makes the whole place feel more spacious and joyful. We were restricted then, we had to have a fire rated walls on the boundaries, and we've used these Bondor flame guard panels. So they're actually like a prefabricated element. They come already cut to size, and they come on a flatbed truck. So what we did is we lifted them in, again starting from the back of the house to the front, and we slotted them into a track. We put in this fire rated caulking, and then we put an airtight seal on the inside of them. The reason we used that was because there's no opportunity to actually get down and paint them or maintain them or anything like that. So once they're in, they have to stay there. And we're close to the sea, so we needed something that was already sort of pre-coated, like with a colour bond steel and that. They also give me 100mm insulation, which is really good because that contributes loads towards the passive house.
Well, you had me at rooftop. This is so stunning. 360-degree views, including the city.
Yeah, we love it up here. It's great. You can watch the fireworks. You know, you can come up and have a morning coffee or a glass of wine in the evening. You can do yoga up here. We even read bedtime stories and stuff. It's good.
And what are you most proud of?
I always try and design for people's stories and to sort of fit their character and what they love. And in this, I got to do it for the people I love most in the world. It's really, really special to get that opportunity.
Well, you have done yourself and your family very proud. Thank you so much for showing us through today.
Thanks, it's been a real privilege having you.
Next up, we're on the coast. Well, after 8 seasons, Open Homes has finally delivered and brought me to a home in Byron Bay I have been ogling from the exterior for years, and I promise it does not disappoint. Well, I've secretly been drooling over this house for a long time. Every time I drive past it, I'm like, those windows, who lives in that house? And finally, I get to be here and ask you guys all about it. Is this something you guys have created from the ground up?
Yeah, it is actually. We've had a few attempts at it. I think it's had 3 sort of reincarnations. The 3rd time around, we decided to sort of flatten it all, and we kept the floorboards. And Leah had this idea of creating this beautiful wide hallway with lots of light. So this was her baby.
Yeah.
The kids used to play cricket and
Scooting up and down.
It's a multi-use hallway.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a masterstroke because it creates the most grand entrance as you walk through that door. Everything looks like it has got history behind it. It looks like it's been pieced together over time. It looks like an artist lives here. Like from the wall finish to the architraves to the doors. Has that sort of been the intention the whole way through?
It's definitely been a
journey for us of kind of collecting stories and living through the putting together of this house. So it's so nice you can feel that when you come in. But yeah, it's been a journey of kind of collecting different pieces, and I think that, you know, eclectic artist thing you feel is just the endurance of time and being able to infuse our story. So whether it's we've collected something or we've been inspired by something, it's come together over many years.
So how long does it take to build a house like this from beginning to end?
In the end, it was around about 2 years. Trying to fit our pieces into the house, I suppose, is what took time.
Yes.
And a lot of the pieces here, you can see with these bay windows and they took a long time to restore as well. It's not like just building something and getting it prefabbed off-site.
No, nothing's mainstream here.
All this was sort of double, triple handling to try and make them work and fit, but it was still fun doing it.
And it's a decent sized house for middle of Byron. How many people live here?
It feels like a really big, bustling family home.
Yeah.
We have 5 children.
Yeah, wow.
And so they're always here, not to mention the 3 dogs and the cat and the extra 20 teenagers that turn up when you have 5 teenagers.
Yes.
We used to joke in summer the actual most used room in the house tends to be the pool.
I bet.
They seem to puddle in there and spend hours
Oh my God, they
chatting.
must love it, because despite it being sort of in the heart of Byron, it actually feels like quite a private sanctuary. When you look outside, you're sort of surrounded by beautiful trees and landscaping. So how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms?
We got 4 bedrooms downstairs, with the bathroom, which is sort of shared. The girls have their own ensuite as well. And then Mum and Dad have the master bedroom upstairs with its own ensuite.
Yeah, upstairs feels amazing with those beautiful steel windows.
We burn through so much power here.
Yeah.
Imagine in a big family.
Probably 4 times, 5 times the average household.
Wow.
And a lot of it has to do with this pool.
Yes.
I mean, these guys have had massive electricity bills, especially with a home so large. So really for them, planning to have a large enough solar system to power their needs today, as well as for the future, was important to them. They've installed 25 kilowatts of solar panels with 20 kilowatts of inverters. The SunGrow for the inverter, Longi Solar for the panels.
The manufacturing partners that we choose, firstly, look, they're global leaders, yeah, and they've got proven track record. But not only that, in Australia, they have local support, they've been around a long time, and many other factors. I mean, let's just say they're quality.
One thing I love about the Longi solar panels is their aesthetics. As you know, I'm all about looks, and those panels look absolutely incredible. So stylish, all black, which means they pretty much work on any type of rooftop.
You want your panels to look good. Yeah, they're on your house. It's your biggest asset that you have. I mean, looking at that looks sensational.
Is this a typical home that you'd see that technology installed on, do you think?
Oh, look, we get all types of homes. It's not your typical home. This home's pretty impressive. I'm in awe just seeing how they've renovated this house.
I'm so happy to have met the cool people who lived in the house that I used to ogle all the time. So thank you so much for having us through. This house is an absolute credit to you both.
Oh, thank you so much for visiting us today, Colleen. It's been wonderful to show you around.
Yeah, it's been lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. We hope you find some inspiration looking through these incredible homes and gardens. We certainly have. For more on the homes and behind the scenes, check out our Instagram and Facebook. See you next time for more Open Homes.